This really was the ultimate part of the job. A year and a half before the actual start of the atrium removal, which is where we are, the atrium in Grand Central, the client said to us, look Mark, you've got 12 months in your programme to do this, but I need you to do it in 6. You can imagine, at first I was just like, no way. And they said, look, we'll support you to do this, model and sequence every aspect of the demolition, and you've got a year and a half leading before you actually start, and we will support you with whatever proposals you come up with. Huge amount of concrete, heavily reinforced, big section concrete, had to be removed in the live station, no dust, noise, vibration. We said basically something's got to give here. We can divorce the structure, we can hang it, prop it, support it, slide it in terms of divorcing it so vibration doesn't travel through. But we need to look at the vibration aspects, which we'll deal with the divorce cuts, but also the dust. We worked very hard to prepare a solution. And what that involved was designing and developing a bespoke machine for this contract alone. And that gave birth to what was nicknamed the Mega Muncher. And the Mega Muncher was a 22-ton base machine, JCB, with an 18-ton top. 3-piece boom, which we could adjust. We could take one of the pieces off, so it would be on a shorter configuration. Equipped with an MPK cracker, jaw opening size of 1.5 metres, had a very innovative design in terms of how the hydraulics worked on the machine to give it this accelerated power. The machine was remote control. It had auto stop pull cord, something like you'd see on a jet ski, Formula One style refueling, so that there was never any risk of when we were refueling somebody forgetting and it overflowing and seeping through the station. Onboard dust suppression designed for the job, and we worked in collaboration with JCB, the clients, Network Rail and Mace and the Lean team, and we all together designed the machine fit for purpose. There was only a 25mm gap between the tracks of the machine and its lowest height for it to get through the structure. So even then, you know, it literally had to tick so many boxes. It was kind of crazy in the end, because while we were doing the demolition, they were tiling around us, glazing was going in, escalators were being fitted. I went back to the guys and I said, right, I've got a proposal for you. I can do it in 6 months. I want a box around me and I want a red carpet. And that means nobody messes with me, nobody comes into my area. Just give me the red carpet treatment. I'm priority, that's what you're saying. Give me that priority. That work was then delivered in 4.5 months. And there is absolutely no way we could have ever done that without working with the client, the engineers, the rest of the team, true collaboration. But what was significant was the foresight to understand that the delivery against a challenging program backdrop had to have something innovative. Innovation takes time, and the client allowed us time. They also supported us with finances through design development and getting the machine built with JCB. Everybody was extremely happy, loads of interest in it. And of course, again, we put it in for the World Demolition Awards. It won, but what was amazing, out of I think we've won 15 World Demolition Awards, but we never won this one before, which is the best of the best. And, you know, we found that, you know, true accolade and a great reward really for the effort, heartache, blood, sweat and tears literally that had gone into this job to make sure it could be delivered. So yes, very successful.
I think one of the things that I always remember about it is just how difficult it was really, trying to get going. We had so many obstacles. The best thing about working with Colemans was the never give in attitude. You personally stuck at it, and you know, we had our tete-a-tetes every so often, didn't we? But you just stuck at it. If you hadn't have believed in that yourself, then the team wouldn't have believed in that either.
Effectively what you have here, the atrium, the centre of Birmingham New Street Station, which is now called Grand Central, is approximately a 200 by 200 metre square building right in the centre of the city. And we had to form, I guess it's a 50 by 50 metre hole right in the centre of that building, right above live platforms, no access to it of any benefit. And if you look here, you'll see that there's a huge ring beam that runs around the perimeter. That is the amount of concrete that we took out from the centre of this building. You'll also see that the floor to ceiling height up there is this restricted height where I think it was 2.3 metres that we had to bring the machine through. So that was one of the biggest challenges, to be able to have a machine big enough to hold a 4-ton cracker, but also small enough not to be too heavy on the suspended slab and to get through the building. So we managed to do that. The materials were demolished onto platforms. The materials then were taken to what we called the mouse hole, and they were loaded directly at that entrance or exit to the station, directly into 8-wheelers, taken off to our recycling facility, re-engineered, repurposed and brought back to the project. And you'll see it's a fantastic, really impressive structure. But coming back to the dust point, the guy said to me, yeah, that's okay. You can have some dust, you got to look after it, manage it. I said, okay. And they said, but realise that this £50 million roof, or however much it cost, doesn't like concrete dust. And any costs for cleaning it, anything to do with the rectification of any damage that you do, is down to you. I sort of went, gulp, and thought to myself, man, this, risk. But we were aware of the risk, so we were able to design systems and procedures, methodologies, train and develop the staff's awareness and knowledge of what we're trying to achieve. And I'm pleased to say we didn't get a cleaning bill at the end of it. Yeah, it's great when you look from up here across the new concourse, which of course was moved from the other side of the station. You really get a true idea of the scale and the complexity of the job. It's a huge area, huge amount of concrete, extremely difficult working conditions. So of course, to do that, we had to have an extensive management team in place that comprised of a temporary works engineer, checker in terms of what we were designing needed to be checked. We've got a site management team, we've got a project director, 5 area site managers and about 10 foremen. At peak we had 200 guys working on various parts of the station in support with our supply chain. So yeah, it's a fantastic project, very proud to be associated with it. And I suppose more than anything, what's great is that clients such as Network Rail had the faith, the trust and the confidence in Colemans delivering what's so complex, so risky. But of course that then led on to future work with Network Rail, so that we went down and did the demolition and concrete removal at Waterloo Station. And now we're into our 2nd or 3rd year working down at Euston train station, in amongst other contractors, and each time we're getting better and better. So there's this continuous improvement that's feeding through Colemans and has gained its reputation in a market leader in terms of station redevelopment, demolition, cut and carving, alteration, call it whatever you want, and we're very proud of that. So for the first phase of the job, the NCP car park, we had to remove the material from the south side of the site. It looks very different now because all of the structure, the suspended road structure, we removed later on, which formed part of the work that we did for what they called SSD, which was the work to deliver the new Lewis's. The new Lewis's store needed to have the structure removed. It wouldn't work with leaving the existing structure there. So we put a tower crane up, again complex temporary works, to hang and support the structure so that when we're actually removing it, there wasn't any problems in terms of movement, energy release that may cause problems with fractures and hairline cracks, etc. All of the concrete was supported, cut, wire sawed and lifted down by the tower crane, again straight onto the back of the lorries and away and out of the site. And again, the work went perfectly. That allowed us to then again continue with other aspects of the project, working around the station as part of the team, rather than being a subcontractor to a main contractor. We felt really part of what was going on here, and that was really a significant aspect of how we were engaged, how we responded, and what in turn we were able to give back in terms of effort and quality. I'd like to just show you the exit route out of the atrium demolition, where we were just inside the station, and through those doors we created what they nicknamed the mouse hole. And the mouse hole was a Armco barriered hole where the material was removed from the demolition area, dropped via the mouse hole, deflector plates so it didn't make too much noise with the lorries, and the lorries would back into the space, get the material loaded and take it away. It was very, very difficult getting in and out of this job, so really being facilitated by the client and their team to allow us to do the sort of things that we're allowed to do really helped us. You know, we were assisted greatly in understanding our needs, and that had a real great result for the client, you know, delivering it on time. We'd like to thank Network Rail for allowing us to film inside New Street Station. We understand that in a world where security is paramount, people's safety is paramount, we understand the concerns around filming in a live environment. So we really appreciate the fact that, again, Network Rail have worked with us, facilitated our access into the station to carry out the filming. So really appreciate it. Thank you.